Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for helping my project.
No, happy to help.
Could you say a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Karthik Dave. I actually am from India, but I live in the US now.
And what are the things that interest you?
So, well, work is all finance, but away from work, it's sports and movies, actually, mostly.
Oh,
So-
what kind of sports?
So it's soccer, basketball, and tennis is primary. But I've gotten to a point where I think I'll watch any sport just to figure out. So I'll like I was telling Sonia, I'll watch pickleball like when
really?
they have it on
Okay.
ESPN as well. I know sometimes they'll have it on, and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to watch it. It just seems pretty amazing when you see those pros play. So.
Now, do you prefer more like individual sports or like team sports?
Mostly team sports, actually. I mean, all I respect the individual sports. I know the aspect of seeing people work in a team. I think kind of like somehow gets me a little bit more. The aspect of the creation between people, I think, is pretty cool to see. So, more team sports.
The way they communicate.
Yeah, and just the way sometimes like how you see these teams play, like they just gel so well together, and you realize like, oh, that is pretty cool to see, because you understand individual talent, but to make it work with other people, I think it's pretty cool.
And then I guess you have like team sports like baseball, which is like so isolated. It's
Exactly,
almost-
it's a little bit of a mix of like I think those kind of places where I think individual talent stands out a little more as opposed to like say a basketball and this thing where you need a combination of both aspects of relying on teammates. I think that's what I kind of like see a little bit more of my interest. Again, nothing against individual sports. I'll still watch it. I'll still see like the tennis and stuff. But if you ask me to pick between the two, it's always the team.
What do you think will be the first like team sport that will be played in space?
Ooh, very interesting. I feel like some form of tennis / pickleball or golf. Like I just have this image of like someone playing golf on the moon where it basically just keeps going on and on.
Oh,
and
wow.
on. Like you can see like the longest drive ever or something like that. So yeah, I feel like that's probably like the first sport I associate with space.
Yeah, there was one Apollo astronaut that actually did bring a golf ball up there.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
took like I think one of these digging instruments and used as a golf club. So
Oh, whoa! I did not know that. Okay, that'll be something cool to see if they captured it. Which they did. But
talking about Apollo, that last time we had astronauts to the moon was 1972. Did you know that NASA is planning to send astronauts back to the moon?
Artemis was it? I think I remember because I was. I think I went to NASA like the visitor center about last year. I think my mother-in-law was there, so with my wife we went out. And I remember them mentioning. I can't remember. It was there was two. There was. And again, maybe I got the numbers wrong. I know there were supposed to be two versions. One where they do a flyby, and another one where they land. I don't remember the timelines, but it was Optimus, right?
No, that's right.
Okay.
Artemis 1 was an uncrewed test flight that just went around the moon. And that happened like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then
Also, that
Artemis-
was done. Okay. I just remember them mentioning that. Maybe I misheard it. I just assumed it was something that they were planning to do shortly.
And then Artemis 2, they chose 4 astronauts for that. They're training to actually go in the same vehicle, well, the same type of vehicle, and they'll go around the moon only. And then on Artemis 3, they'll actually dock with the lander and land.
Because I remember them mentioning that they were going to go back and bring people back because it had been since
72.
72. Okay.
72, yeah.
Okay. Which is
52
pretty
years
amazing.
ago.
Yeah, I know. It just sounds like, wait, because, I mean, like I said, I've been in NASA because I lived in Houston before, and everyone would want to go to NASA every time we came out. And it almost felt like when you saw all of those Apollo missions and everything, it almost felt like they kept going every 5 or 10 years. And then, to hear it out that it's been, 50 years? I mean, since someone's been on the moon, that is pretty amazing.
Yeah, in fact, I guess it was shorter between the time that, the Wright brothers did 1904, then 1969. So I guess it's like 65 years. So we're getting close to the same length of time between having the first powered flight and the first time landing on the moon. So
that is pretty amazing. I know it's no small feat, but and I know there's a lot of players now, but you just assume that space travel would be something more common, when you thought back on like where we were in the 60s, 70s. But yeah, it's pretty cool still.
When you think about the future of humanity in like 200 years, do you think we're still only on the Earth making these short trips to places? Or do you think humanity's expanded to encompass like other planets and other places in space?
I mean, I do think I'm hopeful, yeah, in the sense of that I do think that we can, especially, seeing, things like, I know India did a mission to Mars, no, not manned or anything, but given all of those plans, I'm hopeful that there is something, like you said, I mean, whatever, maybe beyond our lifetimes, but with the aspect of things that 200, 300 years, that maybe, especially maybe like between the moon and Mars, something like that could be possible. I mean, I still do think, we have loads more people and should be something, I'm hopeful we do get there.
Talking about India, they chose 4 astronauts for their first human space flight, which I think they're planning next year. Which would be on an Indian rocket, just to orbit.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. I just knew, I remember the Mars got a lot of attention, this thing, but I did not know they had picked that as, I should probably read up on that.
If you could you take a trip to space?
I would. I guess an aspect for me is still trying to make sure I'm comfortable that it is, again, I know a lot more people do visit and with SpaceX and so on options. I wouldn't mind visiting. I don't know how comfortable I would be to do long trips, but for a short trip, I think I would be up for it.
And so like to orbit and back.
Yeah.
But maybe not to the moon.
Again, it seems a longer commitment. I wouldn't be against it. Let me put it that way. As long as I feel, I know you need to be super fit, super prepared. This thing, if I was capable, I would. I wouldn't mind. It seems something worth visiting and worth this thing if you could get the option and just be comfortable being out there. I think that would be pretty cool.
Well, awesome. Well, that's all the questions I had for you.
Nice.
Did you have any questions for me or anything else you want to talk about?
No, this was brilliant. Like I said, I didn't know if I had to prepare for this, but no, I didn't know it was just a conversation. This is good. Excellent. Do you just load these videos up?
Yeah, they just go on the countdown to the moon.org website.
Okay.
I've been counting down to the end of 2024, which was the year we were supposed to have people on the moon when I started the project. But still counting down to the end of this year. So.
Okay.
So this is the final year.
Okay, nice.
Well, thank you so much.
No, appreciate it.